I'm just astonished really with the way South African politics is going. The ANC have been in power for the last 25 years, and in that 25 years they have basically mismanaged the whole South African economy. But I think the most important thing they have done wrong is they have mismanaged the people's expectations. People's expectations were at this level when the ANC won their first election back in 1994. Well, they're obviously dropped right down to zero now. They are nowhere, and that is why obviously it's bred people like Julius Malema to come in and say, right, we're taking all this land back. Do sensible people really think that's a good idea within the ANC? I mean, because I can't believe everyone's stupid in the ANC. There's got to be some sensible people in the ANC. In this modern age we live in the world, there is nowhere where people get free handouts on land. You know, in Europe it doesn't happen. In Asia it doesn't happen. In Africa it doesn't happen. In the United States it doesn't happen. I mean, giving out free land so people can go and populate, it just does not happen anymore. And I've never ever heard of it. In people who have land, that live on the land today, have bought it through their own savings, or they've inherited it through family or whatever. But it's they have had to work it, they've had to pay for it, they've had to pay their taxes on it. In some cases they've lost it because they haven't been allowed, someone else has bought it. But I mean, the point I'm making is there's no such thing as free handouts of land. And I think what do the South African government expect to gain from giving out free land? Let's just say they go ahead and they want to do that. They say, right, and everybody, all the white South African farmers all agree, and they say, okay, fine, we'll walk away. We don't want compensation. We'll walk away and we'll go and live somewhere else. You know, be it in Europe or Australia or wherever the case may be. What are they going to do with the land then? How are they going to farm it? How's that going to solve a problem? You know, what do they expect to gain from owning a few acres of land each? How's that going to help them? What are they going to try and do then? They're going to try and farm it? How many know how to farm? Do they know how to farm? What's going to happen when there's droughts, you know, or when there's too much rain? Do they know how to farm? Farming's a tough game. You know, I tell you, it's a lifestyle that people are born into, and they work bloody hard to make a living, to make it work commercially. So I want to see how that's going to work. How that giving land across to people who are having a free handout, how that's going to really work. You've seen how it's worked in Zimbabwe. It was a fantastic success, wasn't it? Well, we know it wasn't. What's going to happen? You're going to piss off all the white farmers, and they're going to go. Then what? Then you've got the land issue with the farmers. Then you're going to take the businesses away as well. Go into the cities, take everyone's business away. Take their house, take their home, and they're all going to bugger off as well. Then what's going to happen? What's going to happen then? When there's nobody coming into South Africa to invest any money, when they're going to stop giving the money, you know, when Britain and Europe and the United States stop sending South African government money for their reforming the country, etc. what is going to happen? Think about it. It's not the way forward. You know, I mean, I know I'm sitting in the wrong part of the world to be telling South African black people how they should manage their country. I know I'm the wrong person to be doing that. So perhaps you should listen to some of this. Have a listen to this.
What's good, people? Uncle Hotep back at it again. You see the fresh cut. I forgot to give y'all a little look of my boozy fade. Probably like a little bit higher, but it's been a couple days growing, so you know what it is. Got to keep fresh. Anyway, I got to talk about the South African farms. You know, I think it came out today. I've been wanting to do this for a couple weeks. You know, make a comment on this situation. Looks like South African leadership said, taking all the land from the white farmers. We're taking it all. I guess the white farmers own 70% of the farmland in South Africa, and they're going to take it all and redistribute it. You know, people are talking about it's going to be a genocide of white farmers, and you know, it's Trump. Can he do something? I've seen it all today. And on top of that, they're taking the land with there's not going to be any compensation. Now, I also read they're not taking houses. So I guess if you have a house on the farm, you're good. Like, they're not going to take your house, but they're going to take your land. And then I read they're taking all the land. Like, nobody's going to own any land after this. Like, they'll lease it to you. But it's not, you're going to be your land. It's not like, you know, some of these people had generations of farmers. It's not going to be their land anymore. It's going to be the state's land. Counties. Now, you know, South Africa's a tricky subject here. You know, because I've been doing some research. Some people say that there was hardly any blacks down there, Bantus or whatever, and you know the Boers, the white folks, they built up South Africa. So it'd be wrong for them to give it up because y'all didn't have the blacks didn't, the Bantus or whatever, didn't have that land in the first place. You know, they came running at everybody came running after the white South Africans started building up the country. Now, I'm not too particularly versed on South African politics. I do know the black people I've met, I've read stuff from that are from South Africa are a strange breed, man. Like, I thought the African American, the shine was something else, man. But goodness gracious, Lord have mercy, they pieces of work out there, man. I'm telling you, over there, man. They're social justice warriors times 10, man. 10. Like, imagine the most wokest Black Lives Matter member, Black Lives Matter member, and times that by 10, and you have the South African shine. Now, I'm not here to say what's right and what's wrong. You know, you have a whole country that feels they're slighted. You know, and it had this system, and this is your own fault anyway. Like, you know, if you have such a system that you know, apartheid, that people don't have the same rights as you, and then suddenly they're going to have rights, you know, they're going to feel some type of way about it, especially with the land there. Now, people are saying this happens in Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe went to shit, and now Zimbabwe is trying to, under Mugabe, and they're trying to just now trying to get right. You know, I hope y'all take, if they take the farmland and then you don't got nobody to farm it, and then you're gonna beg for the white folks to come back to farm. I'm not trying to see that again, man. That was the most embarrassing, should have been the most embarrassing thing in black folks' history across the world. But, you know, I don't know, man. You know, the one thing this is the reason I wanted to make a video about it, is because, you know, I seen Lauren Southern, she's going over there and she's doing a little documentary about, you know, the white genocide of South African farmers and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, man. Is this just not the Palestine situation in the reverse, or in the same thing? Is it not? You know, I always thought this story coming out and people talking about it, and I'm like, this is no difference than people's getting their land taken over in you know who, the land of Palestine. Am I right or wrong? It's the same thing. But, you know, we don't hear this outrage or anything like that. You know, of course, why? But we're starting to hear this, and I always thought this is almost a distraction from what's going on over in the Middle East. You know, they're giving, it's like a bread and circus. Like, they'll hide one event and then they'll give you another that start crying about it. You know, I don't know. I think they should give compensation. You can't just be taking people's stuff, you know, land that was rightfully theirs, you know what I mean, and then take it. I think that's wrong. Either way, you do it. Now, who originally owned the land is, now that's a dispute. Like, was it populated before they came or not? That's the part up for dispute. You know, so I don't know. We'll probably never know that, or it'll probably never be publicly known. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm of the opinion now that you gotta open the window, get this fresh air. I'm of the opinion you gotta hold your own nuts, man. HYON. Like, I mean, to be honest, it's South African people's business. Is it not? Like, we don't care about anything else that similar situations happen to other people. Like, we're supposed to be outraged about this. I mean, it's messed up, but, you know, man, they gotta hold their own nuts, man. HYON. Now, some people are saying they should leave, and I even heard somebody say they should take, instead of taking illegal immigrants from South America, Mexico and South America, they should just take immigrants from the white South Africans. You know, it depends. If the white South Africans say this is our land and we're not giving it up, man, then they got to hold their own nuts and do what it do. And they got to fight back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're vastly outnumbered. You know what I mean? But can't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? This has happened time and time again through human history, man. You know, it's just it's on the other foot now. You know what I mean? It is what it is, I guess. But we'll see, man. If they're going to take the land and they're going to screw it up, I hate to say that's a likely scenario, but we'll see. And you know what kills me? It's like, let me put this one away. You know what kills me? It's like black Americans, like they cheer this, like, yeah, take the white folks land, take it. Like you don't got nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? And it's like you get a moral victory from some shit like that. Like, I'm like, man, why would I'm like, it's not, I'm not South African. You know what I mean? Y'all keep saying we're from West Africa. I mean, yeah, we keep saying we're from West Africa. This is going on in South Africa. So, like, it's really none of our business. And it's, I don't know, man. Can't we all just get along in the immortal words of, what's his name? Reginald Denny? No, not Reginald. Reginald Denny was the guy that got hit by the brick. Who the hell said, can't we all just get along? I don't know. I'll come back to that. Somebody put that in the comment section. But yeah, I just think this South African, it's more to what it seems. If they're just taking all the land and then going to lease it out, you know, and then they're going to take, and they said some of the land is idle. This is what I read today. Some of the land is not even being used, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to give that to the marginalized, and I hate that word, the people that are underprivileged or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? This is their chance to hold, everybody got to hold their own nuts. HYONN. You know what I mean? If y'all think y'all can have a civilized and upwardly mobile society, then this is y'all chance. And if not, then y'all gonna fail, and then y'all gotta ask some white folks for help again. I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear y'all come back after this and say, "Oh man, well, white folks help us, man. We need to know how to farm." I don't want to hear nothing from anybody from South Africa that happens, man. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I'm like, man, y'all just embarrassing, man. Anyway, yeah, but think about that. This is the same situation that's happening over in our greatest ally's house. And some of y'all will say, I've seen y'all comments like, good, they take their land and stuff like that. That's what y'all say. I've heard people say that. I read people say that in these internet forums on Poll and everything else. But when it's happening to somebody else, y'all gonna get upset about it. If y'all against it, that action, if you're for that action, then you got to be for it anywhere it goes, no matter who does it. You can't be just like pick and choose shit. Get out of here, man. Anyway, this is Uncle Hotep. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
I think putting emotions to one side and sensibly looking at this, you got to. There's a tough job in South Africa. No one's doubting that. But you've got to keep your strengths, and part of the strength of South Africa is white skills in the country. You know, it's critical that those white skills remain in the country. And there's got to be a process of enhancing and developing the situation for black people, the poor people in society that are still feeling it very hard. 25 years after the ANC have got into power, and that's the focus has got to be on that. I mean, the focus has got to be to how do we make South Africa's economy a rich society again? How do we get that? How do we get that economy to start ticking, like in Australia, like in Canada, as one of these new countries? That's what's got to be the thought. Not you. Do you want the country to go like Australia or Canada, or do you want the country to go Zimbabwe? Uganda. There's not one country that's had it really easy. I mean, countries like Nigeria and Ghana and up in the, you can say they possibly had a different set of circumstances that have helped them slightly in recent years. But I'll do whatever I can to help. I'll be broadcasting stuff and talking to people. I'm disappointed our government, the British government, haven't been more forthcoming so far with what's going on over there in terms of what the plight of the white farmers, and putting some value to this and to try and make it work. Well, you know, saying that, our foreign secretary at the moment has got his hands full with Russia and things going on there. But there's, you know, we will do everything we can to put this to get as many people involved and lobby as many people as we can to make you know, everyone aware of this. But it is a crying shame that we've got to a situation nearly 25 years later, and we haven't resolved the issue with most South Africans. Okay. What are you doing? That's my wife coming back in with a bowl of cereal. She didn't go to work today, as you know, so now she's still sitting in her dressing gown with a bowl of cereal.
Not dressing gown, I already had a shower.
Say hello, Mummy.